Okay. So thank you again, sir, for accepting our request. We'll meet again, sir, in some other platform and in some other days. Thank you, sir. Thanks again, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So now we are going to start. We are going to start our the first lecture, which will be given by one of the youngest and energetic and dynamic speaker in our generation, Dr. Satpal Yadav. He is working as an assistant professor in government in LNIPE NERC Guwahati, Assam. He got the opportunity to represent India in research as a research investigator in sports biomechanics at Rio Olympics, Brazil, along with Indian athletic team, which is assigned by MYAS Government of India. He is also appointed as the level 1 lecturer and level 1 coach of IAAF, that is World Athletics. So these are the achievements and many more. And apart from this administrative and academician, he is also a brilliant sports person. So we expect and we hope we will gain something from his lecture. And with these words, I would like to welcome and request Dr. Satpal Yadav to deliver his lecture. So please, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Ankan Sinha. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat to all the participants of national webinar on emerging yogic practice and fitness traits during this pandemic COVID-19. I also thankful to the organizer of Department of Physical Education, Government Degree College, Dharamnagar, North Tripura. My heartfelt thanks to Dr. Major General S.M. Mukherjee, the former Vice Chancellor, LNIP Gwalior, and the Chief Guest of today's. Dr. Dilip Sarkar, Principal, Government Degree College, Dharamnagar, North Tripura, and the President of today's webinar. Professor Wilfred Waz, LNIP Gwalior, and the guest of honor of today. And all the resource person and co-speaker. I am also very much thankful to Dr. Ankan Sinha, HOD, Physical Education, Government Degree College, Dharamnagar, North Tripura, and the organizing secretary of this webinar, and Dr. Prasanjit Devnath, the Joint Secretary and the coordinator of today's sessions. On this occasion, let me also pay homage to the legendary hockey Olympian, Sri Balbir Singh, Sr., who has left this world on 25th May 2020 in Mohali, Punjab. He was the India best striker in his time and given medal in 1948 and 1952 Olympics. And I also pay homage to Mr. Amitabh Sinha, who left this world on 28th April 2020, the father of today's organizing secretary, Dr. Ankan Sinha. Let me start this presentation with a question, and you have to reply by showing your hand. How many of you seriously engage in physical activity or exercise at least 30 minutes a day? I hope it is visible, my presentation. No?
Yes, sir. It is visible and audible too. You can continue, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. Yes. So it's a pretty impressive that you have raised your hand. Awesome. So according to American Health Research Association, that it is actually recommended to be exercised at least for 30 minutes per day. And it is most surprising is that nearly 80% won't meet this recommendation. As being in this profession, one of the most common thing I heard is that I don't have the time. So let me talk about some time. The reason you could have 168 hours in a week and only asking 2.5 hours of your weeks for leading forward to live a better life, healthier life, and even longer life. And all this benefit comes only with exercise. Fitness is a lifestyle, it's not a quick fix. That is actually something that you have to incorporate your daily regimens, like brushing your teeth, taking showers, and so on. My name is Dr. Satpal Yadav, working as assistant professor in LNIP and NIASI Guwahati. I started exercising with an hobby and now doing as a career. And this is why the exercise that changed my life. We know that exercise is an important part of the healthy lifestyle, but we may not know is how important it is during this COVID pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic is unprecedented time all across the world. Extensive social distancing policies are put into a place that restricted peoples to do their daily activities, and worldwide place from the government asking people to stay safe and stay healthy. Exercise is becoming a lifestyle that everyone should practice.
Hello. Sorry for the interruption. We will join again. We might be having some problem, technical problem. Just wait for a while. Be here with us. Thank you.
In this, we are finding the reason behind and benefit of exercise. We understand how exercise can actually reduce the health problem or the kinds of disease mentioned.
Excuse me, Satpal sir.
Yes, please.
Excuse me. Can you please repeat it? Just means one एक मिनट पहले से, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ पर इंटरप्शन हो गया था, थोड़ा टेक्निकल फॉल्ट हो गया था, तो शायद पार्टिसिपेंट्स के पास पहुंचा नहीं है, तो आप शायद हो सके तो एक मिनट पहले से फिर से थोड़ा सा रिपीट कर सकते हैं
Okay, my
वो.
PPT is visual to you.
No, not now.
PPT is okay.
No, not now. It is not visible.
Now,
Wait, sir. Wait, sir. Wait. Now it is
oh, it's okay.
okay. You can repeat means from previous slide, sir.
From my previous slides.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so yes, this is just a starting of my presentation. So let me start with my presentation covering in this that in this we are finding reason behind that the benefit and benefits of exercise. We understand that the exercise is actually reduce health problem and the kinds of disease. In the list here is WHO has given guideline on the amount of physical activity, including the preschool age children's aging from 3 to 5, children's and adolescent from the age of 6 to 17 years, adults and the old adults. That's it. It is in my second presentation that physical activity recommended from WHO for the different age groups. Next in the point is the data considering the early research finding on exercise and social behavior of the peoples experiencing during this COVID-19. So study may be needed in India too. I will provide the link below so that you can get an idea about this study that I have mentioned in my third point, insight from the data set, early research finding. Considering the possible impact of physical inactivity during this lockdown, we must find out the ways we physical educationists can make the significant difference in the life of their associated person. So my point is that it's a call for the action for physical educationists and the fitness experts. How much and how do that to stay physically active going to be on my next point. That is the way to stay physically active during this isolation. Being the part of games and sports, person at all the level must keep in shape by continuing their regular training regimen, by involving and finding ways to skill themselves so that they will find yourself in their place and co-op up as early and align as soon this pandemic gets out. So the self-assessment and recommendation is needed. And at the last, I will cover some of the question on how to be stay active while social distancing, which is really important to know this answer in this pandemic COVID-19 is concerned. Staying active while social distancing, question and answer. So here I start. Why exercise? During this COVID-19 pandemic, it is even more important for all the peoples to be physically active, even if it is only for the short break, for sitting on your desk and doing some walking or stretching. By doing this simple, this will ease your muscle strain, relieve your mental tensions, improve your blood circulation, improve muscular activities. And for remaining physical active, you must include some of the activities like active recreation, sports participations, cycling, walking, play, dance, gardening, even house cleaning, and even carrying heavy the shopping bags. I think lots of the people, when they come to the health benefits, they mainly think of that the activity, physical activity, is mean to get weight loss or weight. So the question arises: why exercise? What are the health benefits of physical activity or doing exercises? Exercise is important part of lifestyle, and being it's give benefit, including that it reduce the serious health problem or the risk of chronic diseases. This is some of the list which has given by WHO on the common lifestyle diseases such as obesity, cardiovascular disease, diabetic, cancer, asthma, disease of digestive symptoms like peptic ulcers, neuropsychiatric disorders like depression, anxiety, stress, hypertension, and the list go on. Obesity. Currently, overweight and obesity are the highest health problem faced in this 21st century. The major cause of this problem is that the lack of physical activity and excessive consumption of processed food. The number of overweight and obese people in this India doubles between 2005 and 2015. And among individuals aged between 15 to 49, 20.7% of women and 18.6% of men has been found to be overweight or obese. So here it has presented by WHO, the cardiovascular disease is the largest cause of death in India in 1920 since 1920. India is number one in the cardiac patient, and it's affect almost 10% of the population, where the US and Europe having about 7%, China causing 4%, and in India, heart attack kills one, at least in 10 Indians. You see, the 26% of all death in India happens to be because of the cardiovascular disease. The men and youngs are high risk. Lack of physical activities has been identified as one of the biggest trigger of cardiovascular disease. Depression too have been found to be a risk factor for the cardiovascular disease. So currently, overweight and obesity has been accelerated at an alarming rate worldwide. Based on the World Health Organization, it is given by the Global Health Observation data, recent data from 2010 to 2014. This graph shows that the prevalence of overweight in this graph. And in obesity, for the both men's and females at the age above than 18 years has been significantly increasing. Here some of the facts and figure has been given on diabetic that India has 61.3 million people with diabetic. Globally, diabetic caused 4.6 million deaths till 2011. In addition to that, around 250,000 cancer cases are in India. And one third of Indian has the high level of triglycerides and 30 to 7% having the low level of HDC. Regular physical activities can reduce your risk of developing type 2 diabetic and the metabolic syndromes. What is that? Metabolic syndromes is some combination of too much fats around your waist, the high blood pressure, low and high density lipoprotein, cholesterol, high triglycerides, or high blood sugars. People start to see benefit at level of physical activity that belongs that recommendation given as 150 minutes per week. So here more than 1.73 million new cancer cases are likely to be uh, uh, recorded each year by 2020 in India. Commonly used household chemicals and cosmetic contains the cancer cause compounds. It is estimated that 20% of the cancer cases can be linked to the environmental exposure of toxins, tobacco and alcohol, air pollutions, and the diet rich in meat and low in vegetables are likely triggered. So, is the exercise is medicine? Yes. The regular exercise significantly reduce the risk of chronic metabolic disease states, including the type 2 diabetic and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Many of the metabolic health benefits of exercise depends upon the skeletal muscles adaptations. However, this is plenty of evidence that exercise exert many of its metabolic benefit throughout the liver, throughout the adipose tissue, vasculature, and pancreases. Now, the WHO has given some of the guideline and recommendation for different age groups of physical activities, and it's including the infant under the age of 1 year need to be physically active several times a day. Children under 5 years of age should spend at least 180 minutes a day in physical activities. Within 3 to 4 years of old, uh, being moderate and vigorous activity for an hours a day. Children and adolescents from the age of 5 to 17 years, all children and adolescents should have at least 60 minutes a day of their moderate and vigorous intensity physical activity, including activity of strengthening of the muscles and bone that they has to do 3 times per week. And for the adults aging from 18 to 64 years, they should do at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity throughout the weeks, or at least 75 minutes of vigorous intensity physical activity throughout the week, and also including the strength activities twice or thrice a week. The adults age 65 years should do total of at least 150 minutes of the moderate intensity physical activity throughout the week, or at least 75 minutes of vigorous intensity physical activities throughout the week, and also including the strength work. And for the older adults with poor mobility, should do physical activity to enhance their balance and prevents falls. Yes, in the light of this current situation worldwide, certain benefits of physical activities may be significantly pertaining to the COVID-19 pandemics. And these benefits includes the strength and maintaining your immunity system, the immunity strength being less susceptible to the infections, must reduce high blood pressure, weight balance, reduce the risk of heart disease, risk of diabetic, risk of stroke, certain cancers. We must improve the bones and muscle strength, improve balance, flexibility, fitness, mental health. We must reduce the depression. We must reduce the risk of cognitive declines, delaying the onset of dementia. We must improve the feeling of well-being, and in children's activity should support so that it's healthy for the growth and development. It reduces the disease for the later age, and it also helps to develop the fundamental movement skills. And this is some of the benefits of strength and balance training. Often this strength and balance training is forgotten as being the part of physical activity. And many people only focus on the aerobic fitness components and the benefit thereof. The benefit of strength and training that includes that it's improved the blood lipid profiles, improve the vascular function, immunity system, maintaining muscle mass, oxidative capacity, maintaining independence and functional status, aging trajectory, blood glucose sensitivity, blood pressures, and also improve your body composition that helps to maintain healthy weights over time. And despite of all this benefit, physical activities cost 5.3 million lives per year globally. It is important, therefore, to find ways to limit the impact of COVID-19 pandemic as well as the wider impact it will have to the long-term chronic disease. Here, important is that any physical activity is better than none. So, during this COVID-19 pandemic, being physically active will be the challenge for all of us. But it is critical that we find any plans way to be active and reduce our sedentary time. Although our movements around our neighborhood, town, city, countries, and the world may be restricted, it's remain critical that we all move more and sit less. By following this recommendation and getting off at least 150 minutes of a week of moderate intensive aerobic activity can put you in the lower risk of these diseases. Regular physical activities can also lower your blood pressure. It's improve your cholesterol level. It reduce the risk of developing type 2 disease and the metabolic syndromes. Being active lower your risk of developing serious commonly occur cancer of and the cancer survivor. Even the research shows that the adults who participate in greater amount of physical activities has reduced risk of developing cancer of their bladder, their breast, colon, endometrium, kidney, lungs, and even in stomach. You can reduce the risk even further with more physical activity. We must improve the quality of the life, and how this disease can be prevented proper maintaining by proper maintaining of your nutrition and by exercising. So when you exercise, you make healthy choices, healthy food choices. What actually happens to your body? You will put a muscles and it's make your joint and muscles stronger. You will less prone to the injury. you look 10 times better. You also lose fats on your arms, stomach, legs, and your love handles. It's not only lose fats from outside, you will lose fats even in inside. This is the fats that surrounded around your organs. This is called the visceral fats that cause disease. My second point under why to exercise is that, and that is actually make you smarter. So when you exercise, your heart going to be pump more oxygen into your brain and throughout your body. From experiencing lots of students I deal with, they almost forgot how to breathe while doing exercise. In order to get benefit, you always make sure that the breath is with your nose and exhale with your mouth rather inhaling with your mouth. So when you do this, your brain and your mind release tons of hormones which will provide nourishing environment for the growth of new brain cells. It's actually act as the first 18s or it's damage your brain cells. In a sense, it's kinds of healing your mind. If you incorporate exercise in your daily regimen, this will also preparing you from the mental stress. It's also increase in retention of the new information, improve your memories, and also give better reaction to the complex situation. It's make you look better, healthier, and more productive even you work. Next in the queue is how exercise actually improve your health. So it's not just about how far you have run or how much you have lifted. Exercise is uh, it can improve your mental as well. It is the vital maintaining your mental fitness. And the study shows that exercise can actually treat depression, anxiety, and stress just as well the medications and without the side effect, of course. Here is why exercise is so effective. When you come these types of problem, many changes happen in our body. You produce more endorphin. With these hormones, it make feel good and also act as the natural killer. It will improve your concentration. It will also improve the ability of your sleep. In the sense, you helps to release stress and decrease overall tension, whether it is in your mind or in your body. It will make you happier. And lastly, give plenty of energy to use this rest of your days. So your mind and your body works hand in hand. So when one feels good, then the other feels also good. The link between this physical activity and mental well-being is clear. Physical activity is a key critical way to manage mental health, and it's important that as we physical educationists must promote this to the people regardless to them having been diagnosed with the health conditions, mental health conditions or not. Even the study has reported that enforced sedentary behavior has lead to depressive feelings and low moods in healthy peoples during this lockdown. Taking this consideration, the current situation worldwide with the country in enforcing period of lockdown and isolation, this may potentially have mammoth impact on the mental health of many people and even more. So if they do not engage in any form of activity. Next, I want to cover in this is discipline. You have to make sure that you are consistent as well as disciplined. Most of the people wants to be healthy and wants to live long life. So it doesn't happen by accident. Most of the healthiest and the happiest people in this world are probably having one thing in common, that is discipline. So first of all, you have to plan your days accordingly. You have to make sure that you have enough time to incorporate exercise to your daily regimens. Whether you plan for it in the morning, afternoon, evening, or in night instead. It doesn't have to be boring. It has something like that. It may be in terms of going for walk, going for play or dance classes nowadays really online. And the second, you have to make food choices. You have to make sure that you are taking a good protein so that your muscles get repaired and built. You must include healthy fats in your diet so that your hormones, so that they can function properly. You have also has to make sure that you can incorporate healthy carbs so that you have enough energy to use throughout your days. It also you have to put some micronutrient, which is in vitamins and minerals. It's all take time. However, it doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey. And you have to learn to love the things that is good for you. Here, the discipline is decision. A decision that says, I will consistently do the things that I need to do in order to reach my goal. Sometimes it is easier said than done. Not done. Yes. The good news is that the discipline is like muscles. The more you strive to use it, the easier it will be. Discipline become habitual. This brings me the last point is why to exercise. That is confidence. Nothing, there is nothing better saying that your hard work will pay. When you exercise and eat well, you start to see the physical and mental changes throughout your body. Being happy and how you look is essential for your confidence. When you look good, you feel good. The mindset becomes healthy as well as more positive. It can be easier to live socialize with the new peoples, making new friends and possibly open doors for new opportunities. New opportunities and new connections will lead to make friendship, relationship, and even new careers. When you are confident, this become contagious. The peoples wants to around you. One thing I want to make sure on this day is that if you incorporate fitness in your life today, your yourself, future self will going to thanks you. Fitness is not about helping yourself, but it helps other as well. You change your habit, you change your lifestyle. Working is not a punishment; it is blessing. Nutrition isn't restrictive; it's a healing. Health isn't one size fit all, and may not look the same for everyone, but it is something that worth fighting for. Yes, now let me show you some interesting facts throughout the technology is concerned. With over a quarter of this world population now in the lockdown, our our activity habits are changing, but it seems that the world isn't quite ready to sit on the sofa and set out of the shape. Our habit has changed dramatically, and we are embracing home workout and liking to change to take exercise within the guidelines set by the government. And unsurprisingly, the data from the Beijing Sports Watch and the wearable it shows how our lives are changing. You see, this is the unsurprisingly data. The amount of daily step recorded by the Garmin device has plummeted over the period, not just in US or in India, but around the world. This came down from an average of around 8,700 steps per day at the start of the March to 7,700 by the end. Interesting to note here is that during the month of March, there is a global reduction in the daily average amount of step taken, which is indicative of people's been restricted in their movement. And virtually here, but the data also shows that the effect of the gym shutting down as treadmill runs as hugely uh, turnovers, the ritual cycle has increased in the countries by 63%. In other countries such as UK and Sweden, where outdoor exercises or activities allowed, there is a significant increase in outdoor cycling activity that compare with same in 2019. People are finding ways to still be active even in extreme lockdown situations, but this data still does not provide a credible idea of a person cumulative physical activities level over a 24 hours period. The University College London launched a social studies on psychological and social experience of people in UK during the COVID-19. During the second week of this study, the researcher looks into the exercise of social behavior over 47,000 participants. This is app-based and self-reported data. Early stage finds from this study that include that 1 out of 4 people says that they had no exercise or even gentle physical activities since last past 7 days, and 85% of the participants reported that they are not engaged in any of the moderate and strenuous exercise at all. 40% of the study participant reported that they has not done any gentle exercise such as going for the walk. Even in the younger participants aging from 18 to 30 years, 4 out of 5 people reported not engaged in any moderate or high intensive activity. People diagnosed with mental and physical health conditions are doing the least physical activity. Older peoples are engaged in more gentle activity, but least in exercise at home or moderate to strenuous exercise overall. People live alone and engage less in all kinds of these physical activities. People from the lower income also are engaged less in these kinds of physical activities. There are the early findings, and this result will likely to be changed over the time and lockdown measures easy. I have mentioned the link of this study. You can go and you can do the same in India even. And considering the possible impact of physical inactive during this lockdown, from this platform, I would like to give a call to call to actions for the physical educationist and the fitness expert. So here is my point, that is the physical educationist must have uh, get some ways so that you can make significant differences in the life of your patient, your associated peoples. The physical experts can need to be mindful of this impact of lockdown on mental and physical well-being of the peoples. Now, more even, the holistic that aspects of our assessment need to be emphasized, especially considering the stress on this mental well-being of so many people. The peoples are uncertain, they are nervous, they are worried and isolated during this lockdown. The experts need to consider the aspects of muscle strength and deconditioning, even assessing their patient or the associated groups. Although it is usually considering in assessment, it might need to be prioritized, and experts need to find the ways how the peoples can regain their muscles, regain their joints, optimize their well-being. If area of musculoskeletal conditioning are not addressed, it may affect a person aging trajectory and overall well-being. So here some of the ways to stay physically active during this COVID-19. You must encourage people to break their periods of inactivity. Encourage people to engage in aerobic activity on the daily basis, even that is for the short period of exercise, has been reported to be real healthy benefits. Strengthen and balance exercise twice or thrice a week has to be incorporated. Focus on the major functional muscles groups. Think about and find out the ways to be this incorporate this exercise every week during this lockdown and beyond that. So by doing this, it is the potential to change the physical activities behavior in the long term. The physical experts can need to focus on effective messaging during this lockdown. This may include positive messages about the benefit of physical activity, aligned with concern that people's having during this lockdown and pandemic. This may the physical activity during this lockdown improve your mental health, improve your sleep pattern. It helps to stay healthy and it reduce the demand of healthy system. And how to stay safe while exercising during this. Here are some of the points should keep in your mind that how to stay safe while exercising in this COVID-19 period is concerned. Do not exercise if you have a fever, cough, or different breathings. It may be probably the symptoms of COVID-19. Practice social distancing when exercise outdoor or practice good hand hygiene before and after. If you are not used to physical activity, start slowing with low intensity activities such as walking or low impact exercises for the short period of the time, and gradually you can build up over the time. Choose the right activity to reduce your injury. The intensity of exercise should be matched your fitness level and the health status. We must discover the world of online fitness during this COVID-19. Now the innovative equipments will soon change this world. During this COVID-19 pandemic, which broke out into early 2020, peoples around the world has been required to stay at home, while the businesses has come to an halt. But this pandemic has also created a movement in which peoples has to started to pay major attention on their own health. They started finding different ways to continue with their passion by different use of tricks for still promoting fitness. Here in this picture, you have see that the peoples from their residence exercise from their balconies. The fitness trainer used to train them. That picture is of France, and that picture has taken on March 27, 2020. We must incorporate fitness apps. The fitness apps are not new things. They has been around for at least for the past 5 years, but it's been a challenge for traditional gym to know how to move their offline service to the online quickly. Creating to offer pre-recorded online classes and now also selling sports equipments online. Nowadays, usually they invite some famous sports peoples or some social media celebrities to shoot the training classes for them. Currently, live streaming classes play a more important part in the businesses. Although the coronavirus outbreak is frustrating for sports and industries, it is still the best way to keep that related area alive. The online fitness celebrities, some of the social media and other platform has launched some activities online to push people to share their home training or dieting stories. We must include the intelligent hardwares. Under this long pandemic shadow, it is expected that many of offline companies will has to be transform their business to online and gamify of doing exercise by becoming a trend. It is also means using the altered circumstances as an opportunity to improve our physical fitness and make cumulative with fast pace after releasing from the current pandemic. This is some of the assessment and recommendation needed for the sports person. I have mentioned some of the physical assessment. You can measure yourself, your resting pulse rate. You can measure your positive, your negative breath holding times by using the stopwatch in seconds. Your body composition, you can have some skin for fat calipers. You can measure the blood pressures, your maximum expiry pressures, right? So these all are the simple things that you can incorporate. And some of the things mentioned here is about the physical assessment. However, our situation has also brought us into this sharp focus, the importance of taking care of ourselves and doing all that we can do to stay ourselves healthy. Part of that, keeping ourselves in shape by continuing our regular training regimen. Players should continue practicing with the following motor related skills. Here I have mentioned some of the sports and the segment which is required in the particular events. For example, football. The most important segment used for is the foot. So skill that you can include jugglings and many more. Volleyball, more coordination is required. You can do by utilizing different weights of balls so that your coordination may be maintained. Badminton, eye-hand coordination, you can go for the drop test, Oregon test, different tests are there. And for the weightlifter, you see back is most important. You can exercise more by using the resistance exercise by using some bands. The basketball, most important is the kinesthetic sense, the perception. You can go for different shots so that the perception is yet maintained, and the list may go on. Now, this is my last portion of my presentation, that is stay active while social distancing. So, some of the question and answer which I have collected from different webinars which is going on nearby in this pandemic. So, here the question is that how much activity do adults need? So, according to the physical activity guidelines, for adults need a mixture of activity to stay healthy and includes at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity a week and 2 times of muscle strengthening activity a week. During this stressful time, it is important to remember that some physical activity is better than none. Adults should move more and sit less throughout the days. So I move on to the next question, that is how much the what is that? How much activity do kids needs? Yes, with many children home from school, parents and caregivers might be wondering how to get the kids moving. The physical activity guidelines were recommended that the kids and teens aged from 6 to 17 get 60 minutes of activity every day. Kids younger than 6 need physical activity too. It helps to support their growth and development. The preschool age children are active naturally, so aim to help them to be active throughout the day and avoid the time just sitting around. Remember, lots of the thing counts as a physical activity, and it's all adds up. Ask your kid to teach your favorite games which they has learned from their physical education classes. Have a family dance party. Go for the challenges from each other to learn a new yoga push-up or do another push-ups, different variations of the push-ups, right? So these all are some of the questions which I have collected. If the times allow, I can continue, but I feel that the time is over. Hello?
Hello? Hello? Huh?
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
You
sir.
can
You
continue.
can continue.
I can continue? Okay, thank
Yes,
you
sir.
very much,
Yes,
Uncle
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Uh,
So you see, why it is important for me to be active. The physical activities can provide immediate benefit. Physical activities can help to boost your mood, reduce stress, improve your sleep, and sharpen your focus. benefits that can be easily important during this stressful time. Physical activities can also help you to live a longer, healthier life and by reducing many of the common chronic diseases as we have discussed. Right? So the next question I used to take is that is it safe for me to go to a park or playground? Yes. Be sure to follow local guidelines so that you know if it's safe to use park and playground in your community. For the playground, lots of people use and touch playground equipments. So an empty playground can still be full of germs. It also recommends that visitors do not use playground, including water playgrounds within public space and parks. There are lots of ways to get active with your kids away from the playground. And the park is considering the parks can help make it easier to keep your distancing from the other, but not if there are too much of crowd. You sure make sure that you look for the outdoor space that make it easy for you to keep your distancing from others. Focus on the park that are closer to your home. And avoid traveling long distance. So I can include the question: are there physical activities I need to avoid? Yes. If you continue to do many of the activities you love, but it might has to make some adjustment to be safe. Do you love group fitness classes? Try streaming a group workout online in your home. Are you lifting weight at your at your gym? So get creative. Try lifting cannons goods or laundry detergents or try some weightlifting exercises that can helps to build your strength just like the weightlifting. But be sure to avoid social gathering, keep your distance from others, and practice good hygiene. Next is how can I active without gym? This is a good question. Here are all kinds of ways to get active at home. Workout, video dancing, and even active video games are great way to get moving. Many gyms and organizations across the country are offering free streaming on demand of fitness options. This might be the perfect opportunity to try something new. Household chores and gardening are also a good way to get moving and a great way to multitask if you can distance yourself from the other outside, right? So the next NQ is how do I stay connected to others while being active? Is good. Practicing social distancing doesn't mean that disconnecting with others in your life. Here are some ideas to stay connected and active while apart. Call your friends or loved ones while taking a walk. Post your physical activities plan to social media and invite your networks to move along with you. Get moving with your friends via video chats or virtual streaming services. Motivate each other through a virtual meetings up while doing at home work, right? Next is it is safe to return to the gym. Yes, gym and germs is most considering. By their very nature, athletic facility like gym tends to be germy. In a study published earlier this year, researchers found drug resistant bacteria, flu virus, and other pathogens on about 25% of the surface they tested in 4 different athletic training facilities. When you have a relatively high density of people exercising and sweating in a contained space, you have conditions where communicable disease can be spread easily. Gym equipment can be diversely difficult to sanitize. Dumbbells and kettlebells, for instance, are high-touch metal with strange shapes and many different places the people can grasp. So here the times comes, we have the great opportunity not for ourselves but for the society. What you need is to stand out of the crowd. What is physic? Physic is the prime mean for performing all religious duties. So this is the end of my session.
Okay,
So
thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you, sir, for such a informative and useful lecture as per the present scenario. Thank you very much, sir. We will learn many things. Sir, one more request is that as they are having, they need to fill up the feedback form, and it consists of various questions. So I would like to request you to go to the first slide so that they can see the topic, the main topic, prime topic of your presentation, because they have to fill up the feedback form with different questions.
Here is my topic:
Okay,
physical
this,
movement connected during the COVID-19 pandemic. Yes.
due to some technical problem, you all not able to see this slide, the front slide. After that, it's all clear. So this is the topic: physical movement and panacea during COVID-19 pandemic. So thank you, sir. Thank you very much. It was means a wonderful and informative session, and we are getting lots of responses and comments for this presentation. So thank you, sir. But we have few questions from the audience or participant side. So I would like to raise it in front of you so that you can hear also. So the first question is from Priyojit Debnath. That is, during in this pandemic, many people suffering from claustrophobia. That is, we know that due to the fear of closed window, means closed room, we are getting in lockdown. We are living in lockdown situation. So it is quite obvious to be in claustrophobia because people can't go out, and it's been 3 months now. So how we overcome it? Through physical activity. How to overcome this lockdown situation with physical activities? Through physical activity, how to come out from this claustrophobia condition?
Yes,
This
definitely
is
we can incorporate many of the activities. Many of the activities we can use the space. We must has to make the friends. Our stage nowadays, the stage is our best friend, right? We can use the steps so that you can improve the cardio in that particular situation. You can use different forms of weights so that by utilizing the home remedies, okay, so the kids can do many of the favorite games which they has, as I have said about the physical educationist uh, taught them. We can much more get familiar with our family. We can arrange some family parties, right? We can do some yogic poses, variations of different push-ups. So these all things you can incorporate in your daily life so that
lockdown.
you can get benefited. Hello?
Okay. Okay, sir. Nice to hear that. One more question is there. Two more questions. Is there any exercise for the sedentary old age people during lockdown? Means during this pandemic period, is there any exercise very easy to perform for the old age people during this pandemic so that they can get better immunity and be stronger and healthier?
Definitely, they can go for some stretching exercises. They can use TheraBands. simple walks from the stage. If the terrace is there, you can go and stretch yourself, do some yoga, do some meditations. This can be done
Okay.
by the old people so that they can benefit it.
Thank you, sir. Very impressed with your reply. And the last one is, so how to motivate the people for physical activity, those who are under depression, or you can say under stress. So, is there any how to motivate them for physical exercises? Uh, those who are in depression.
So actually, you have to make this physical activity as a life pattern, lifestyle, as you are brushing your teeth, as I have mentioned, right? It should be incorporated in your daily regimens so that you can work more on that one. You can make this as a lifestyle. Many of the questions I have presented in this, right? You can do 30 minutes of any activity which is suitable for you that boost your your hormones so that you can be more happy in that time.
Okay,
So by
thank
this you can do many of the things. Exercise can change your life. You have to incorporate during this. Okay.
okay, sir. Thank you. I think all the queries are cleared by sir very nicely. In addition to that, I would like to say that it is just like a thing that structure leads to function or function leads to structure. Like that, the mental health and physical health go hand in hand. Sir, I already said this. So uh, try to ask them to perform the mental exercise first so that they can easily adopt the physical exercise. First of all, give them mental exercise, be with them and provide them some mental exercise like memory game and as you sir already said that meditation and all. Then that will work. They will feel relaxed and they can easily reach to the physical activity. Don't go abruptly, don't go suddenly for the physical exercise, especially. And going to the next question, especially during the condition of lockdown, some are getting claustrophobia, but I would say no, nothing to worry about claustrophobia. You should not have this, because if you are having discipline, if you are having space, ऑल आर हैविंग स्पेस इन, ये तो बोला नहीं गया है कि आपको घर के अंदर बंद रहना है. You are having the place in your roof or your garden. You can have a fresh air. Start the day with fresh air. Claustrophobia का कोई चांस ही नहीं है. Start with meditation, trataka, everything. It will cleansing your. These all are comes under kriya too. So it will overall will give you soothing effect. So, in addition to sir reply, thank you very much, sir, for clarifying the doubts and taking such a means. I am very, very, very much impressed with your presentation, and I hope all the participants too. They have benefited with your presentation. So, thank you, sir. Thank you once again. And if you want to convey something, then you can have the stage.
Thank you, Ankan Sinha. Jai Hind,
Hmm.
Jai Bharat.
Jai Bharat, Jai Hind, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So I need